Welcome back, guys. It's Keith Trades. We're going to go over today's June 24th, the trade setup, and then the calls posed, right? Today was just a banger day. Choppy action, but man, I read the market like a book today, and we're going to go over straight into it. Right, so coming into the pre-market plan, again, the Discord launches in July. We don't have a specific date set up yet, but when you join, you'll be able to watch me live trade, and you will get this full pre-market plan in the intraday callouts that I'm looking at. So coming in, right, 6:16 a.m., right, here's the callouts, right? In Discord, it'll say edited if it's edited. It's not edited, right? These are all before the market opens, right? My short plan hit today. I'm leaning more short buys today. Although we have hit objectives, we still have a gap lower to fill from last week's, right? Targets lie at 19,827 and 19,696. Right, I called the S&P at the lows, and then 4 minutes in the open, I saw the 5-minute fair value at respect. If we mark structure, we run lower. But first, let's go over to what I saw in the market. Right, so on the 1 hour, right, like I said we already delivered lower. Right, so these lows that I'm looking at, right, the 912 low, all the, like, in the daily low here, this low here, that was never filled, right, on what day was that, Friday, right, they were all hit before the market opened. That's why I said I've already hit objectives, but I want to see the gap lower. Right, now let's go over that gap fill. That is last week's new week opening gap fill, and let's go right into that. We go an hour. Right, here's the gap I'm talking about from last week. And then if we go to the range, right, what is that area of interest then, right? Like I called out here, 19,827 and then 19,696, right? That is just right here. Here's the 19,827, the midpoint, and then here is the open. This is Friday's close, right? So these are the targets that I'm looking at. And then I also called out the 19,894 internal sell side, which was here, and that's just the low coming into the day. Right? That's a pre-market low here, right? And then coming into the day, right, we see, right, we're respecting the 4 hour, right? We're not really finding the buying we need to see. So coming into the day, right, my long targets were here, right, this high, here's a 2030, and then this high, right? And then here's the 1 hour fair value I'm looking at, right? So I'm saying this, if we respect, then we're going to run lower. If we buy through strong, right, we're likely to see the highs. End up respecting. Right, and then as I called out, right, 5-minute fair value gap respect. If we market structure, we run low. That's at 6:40 a.m. So let's go into the 5-minute fair value gap and find that point. Right, that's just this fair value gap here, right? So coming to the day, I'm just looking at I'm not looking at this fair value gap, any sort of unfilled fair value gap. I'm looking to see if market draws into it, respects, and runs lower, right? So that's what we got right off the open. Right, we came into the 5-minute, as I called out. Likely a small reversal in the open. If we respect bearish fair values, I'm looking for the breakdown continuation lower. Exactly that. Right, small continuation to fill what? 5 minutes. There was an inverse 2-minute entry here, but I said if we market structure shift. So right when we market structure shift, I'm looking at a fair value gap entry here. Right? Never got it. We hit my target, and I'm not willing to take this because we already hit an objective. Right? Market does not need to reverse or continue lower because we already hit a sell side objective. Right? So I wasn't able to catch that trade. Totally fine. Right? Our setup came very soon later. Right? Understanding that we had swept external sell side, we have an internal sweep here. Right? I called this out. Right? Where is it? Long reversal to 19,965. Just at 6:57 a.m. Right? So this was called upon my entry point. Right? 6:57 a.m. This is called here where I took my entry. Right? And then simple. What is the 19,965? Right? Just the opening high. And then what is your next target? 19,983. And what was that? It was the 1 hour high here in this 1 hour fair value. That would be your price target too. Right, and then let's go over the setup. External swept, which was that 19,985 target. Internal sweep here. Right, if we want to see selling come in, we would want to see this fair value gap respect to run to what? The target lower. That never happened. Right, we end up displacing through. So I say, okay, buyers are starting to show up. And now my area of interest is this swing high. Right, very strong close above market structure shift. This broke the high, but it's not a market structure shift. Why? Need the close above. And then we have a 1-minute inverse fair value gap, which is my point of entry, sniper entry, along with this breaker block here, which I don't teach because you would just enter on the inverse. Right? That was my point of entry. Again, we'll be honest with you guys. I was on my phone, so I didn't get the limit entry. I got in at 33. Yeah, I got in right here. So when this candle bought up, I got into the 933. Right? A little bit of drawdown. Placed my stop here. Right? Again, Not very good. Why? Because now my risk is messed up because if I got longer, then I could factor in more. But again, totally fine. I was confident in this trade. Because we see selling, if we fail to deliver lower, what's going to happen next? We can easily see a reversal to what target? Opening high, right? I got in long here. First target hit. I didn't scale on this because I just saw the buying ramp up. I got scaled at the 74s. Here. All right, so 41-point gain. Yep. And then why did I call this? I said, ES is pushing. Let's see NQ follow. Right? That's at 6:57 a.m. And now let's go to ES and let's see what market looks like at the same time. Right? At 6:57 a.m. Right? Look it. We sold off to new lows, and what was ES doing off the open? Just ripping higher, ripping higher, ripping higher. So I said, right, ES is ripping higher, right, pushing. Let's see NQ follow. And once we got that market structure shift, it confirmed that. Right, there's that trade here. And then I didn't execute the setup, but I was able to call it out. Right, I said 20-30 equal high should be a goner, right? Never happened because we never just placed through. And then I said 5-minute breakdown. Let's see if we go for 19.866, then the midpoint 19.827, right? 19.827 is called out here. Again, it's just that gap, the middle of that gap. Right, 19.866, very simple, just the low on the day. And I called the 748 is when I called the market structure shift. No, not 740. Let's see. 728, my bad. All right, so I called it here, right? This candle, I called it lower. Now let's go to the setup again, right? We swept opening high. We swept the 1 hour high. We see an internal high sweep here. We see 1 minute market structure shift here. Not very convincing, very bad action. Now let's go on the 5-minute chart. Now we see a very clear 5-minute market structure shift through this swing low, confirmed by what? The close below. Right, 5-minute fair value gap entry, short to target what? 19.866. 19.866, then the midpoint 19.827. Right, there's your short, the 5-minute fair value gap. Target 1 gets hit here, 66 points. Target 2, 19.826 gets hit here, 106 points. A fucking ridiculous trade. Right, I didn't like the action here, so I was totally fine at taking it. Right, if you would have got short here, you would have got stopped out, and then it would have worked out in your favor. Right, but only thing I'd say is this: understanding slow action. Right, you see the 5-minute forming here, you just stay patient and wait for it. Right, you can either short the 5-minute or get the inverse close entry, like I taught before. Inverse entry, 5-minute close. You can get short here or for the retracement because you see the sign candle, you know we're running lower and literally spot on reversal. After hours, market just chopped around, then ran lower. Nothing really clean or quality. But that's today's June 24th trade recap, the full day's analysis, and the call-out proof. Guys, man, this is the 8th week. We're very accurate and we're very consistent with doing this. Yes, we will take losses, but I promise you will win more than you lose. But thank you guys for your time. If you have any questions, any comments, that'd be nice. I'll answer them quickly. And be sure to leave a like. Thank you guys.